Hello everybody. So earlier on today I completed my first ever Hyrox race, which was my first competitive sporting event since I retired from gymnastics just over 3 years ago. If you don't know what Hyrox is, it's a hybrid training fitness race which involves doing 8 different exercise stations, each interspersed with a 1 kilometre run, testing your physical strength, mental strength, muscular endurance, and cardiovascular fitness. So, a fairly serious undertaking and something which I've been interested to try for a few months now. I only really learned about what Hyrox was fairly recently when I started teaching Hyrox classes at the gym that I work at currently, and I kind of just thought, if I'm teaching this event, I should probably give it a go at some point. So a few months ago, I signed up to this particular race. I didn't have a particularly good start to my preparation because a couple of days after signing up to the race, I suffered a pretty gnarly ankle sprain, which put me out of action, no training at all, apart from kind of cycling and a little bit of upper body weights for about 4 weeks. Then I went on holiday, and by the time I got back from my holiday and my ankle was kind of ready to start doing some gentle training on it again, there were only 6 weeks to go until the event. So it was far from an ideal period of preparation for this race, but ultimately it was just me versus me. It didn't matter too much that it wasn't a perfect preparation. The goal was simply to go out there, experience what a Hyrox event is like, see what all the hype is about, and kind of see what I can manage. So yeah, here's how it went down. So the atmosphere in the competition arena was really buzzing, loud music playing, and just thousands of like-minded people just enjoying fitness and enjoying pushing themselves. It gave it a real kind of competitive but also friendly and supportive feel, which helped me to feel excited and relaxed, ready for the start of my race. And then before I knew it, I was out of the start tunnel, through the cloud of smoke, and into the first kilometre run. At that point, I was really just trying to soak in the atmosphere of the event and trying to manage my effort levels and manage my fatigue, not coming out of the game too quickly. And the same applies really for the first station here, the ski erg. I'm trying to make sure that I'm kind of getting a move on here, not dawdling through the first station, but also just managing my effort levels, making sure that I'm not burning myself out too early, because at this point there is still an awful lot of stations ahead of us, very early on in the race still. I managed to finish the ski in just under 5 minutes, and then after the second run it was on to the sled push. This thing is not light. It feels even heavier after having done 2 kilometre runs and 1,000 metres on the ski erg. So my strategy here was to push it for a good few metres, and then when I felt the lactic acid start to accumulate in my legs, I just took a little bit of a breather, get a little bit of oxygen in, allow the legs to recover slightly, and then go again, rather than trying to do too much in one go and then legs just being jelly for the next run. So that strategy seemed to work fairly well here. Push a few metres, few rescue breaths, and then push a few metres. And I just kept doing that until I'd completed the required distance, and I managed to finish that station in just under 4 minutes, which I was pretty happy with. Station number 3 is the sled pull. For a lot of people, this is an exercise that they find quite challenging, but for me, it's one of my stronger events. I think from my gymnastics background and also from more recently my powerlifting and deadlift training, I think my posterior chain and pulling strength is pretty good. So on this station, I'm really just trying to kind of capitalise on that strength and make sure that I get a good time and a good exercise split here, because that gives me an opportunity to kind of catch up a little bit of time compared to my peers who are probably a lot stronger and a lot faster on some of the other events. So I managed to finish the sled pull in just over 5 minutes, which was 10 seconds under the average finish time for that station, which I was really pleased with. And then the fourth station was the burpee broad jumps. This one was absolutely horrific. I think for me this was probably the hardest station. You can see I'm spending a good couple of seconds in between each rep to try and make sure that my heart rate is not completely blowing up. But even still, it was really, really rough going. I actually felt a little bit lightheaded and a bit dizzy at the end of the burpee broad jump station, so I had to take it really light and really gentle going into the next run to recover. But the good news is that the next two stations are probably the easiest two in the circuit for me. Starting with a 1,000-metre row. This is a chance to sit down, the only opportunity to sit down in the entire race. And I'm just trying to focus on keeping my strokes per minute relatively slow, but focusing on pulling quite explosively so I can get a good few meters on the clock with each pull, using my strength to its full advantage and allowing my cardio to recover a little bit. And I finished the row in just under 5 minutes, pretty much bang on average pace, and I felt a lot more fresh going into that next run compared to how I did a few minutes previously after the burpee broad jumps. And then it was into the farmer's carry next, probably the easiest station for me. Got it done in just over 2 minutes, bish bash bosh, and on to the next one. Next station is the sandbag lunges. At this point we're over 3/4 of the way through the race. Adrenaline's kind of worn off, and it's just a case of gritty teeth, one rep after another, and try to get through it. Lunges did feel pretty difficult, but I was well under average pace for everybody, so that was really pleasing. And then it was on to the final station, the wall balls. At this stage there's no holding back, it's the very last station, there's no more runs to do, so I'm really pushing myself as hard as I possibly can at this point. It is so much harder than it looks if you've never tried it before. Your shoulders are on fire, your legs are burning, your heart rate is through the roof. You can see from my face how difficult I'm finding it, but I'm just pushing as hard as I possibly can. When I feel like I can't do many more, shaking it out, taking a few breaths, and then going again. You can see the judge giving me a few words of encouragement here as well. Fair play to him, that actually really helped a lot. It was really good to have his words of advice and encouragement over my shoulder. And you can see at this point my coordination's all over the place. Fatigue is so high, I'm dropping the ball, I'm missing the target, I'm all over the place, but I know that I've only got a few more reps left to go, so I'm just grimacing through it, powering through those last few reps, focusing on one rep after another, and then before you know it, I'm done. 9 minutes of hell, sprint finish to the finish line, and that's the Hyrox race completed. You can see by the bodies littering the finishing area how difficult that race was for everybody. I managed to finish in a total time of 1 hour 37 minutes and 56 seconds, which I was really pleased with for my first ever Hyrox race. What an experience, what a good challenge. I'd highly recommend it to anybody who is into kind of hybrid training and is looking for a new way to push themselves and challenge themselves. And I'm sure I'll enter another Hyrox in the future, hopefully learn a thing or two from my experiences today, and hopefully post an even better time on the next occasion. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and see you again soon.